Hello and welcome to episode 48 of chapter 1. We're already off topic. 3 women, 1 podcast, endless plot twists. I'm Mary.
Catherine. I'm Elizabeth.
And this week we are finishing up the final chapters of Web of Vows and Vengeance, and we will be giving our review and our star rating along with any predictions we have for what might happen in the next book or with the rest of the series. I ended up finishing book 2 already.
I've not finished book 2.
You haven't finished? So
I'm 58% through.
I texted you guys when I finished it, though. I was like, I feel like I have more questions than I do answers.
Well, I got one answer.
That didn't really surprise me.
I got one answer. I know what Jonas wanted to talk to her about.
Yeah, that happens pretty quick. Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Okay.
How do you feel about the sister?
Do we want to talk about that now, or do we want to wait?
She ain't Primrose Everdeen, I'll tell you that much.
No,
I read that, I'm like, Prim would never.
I am sensing a downward trend with her. There were, considering her situation that we find out at the end of the book, there were things that she had that I was like, okay, it's her life. She has good points. She can make the decisions. But I did not like her tone. I did not like how she conveyed this. So, I don't know. I felt like if...
It gave, like, it's my party, I can do it.
Well, I felt like if...
But it wasn't a party.
If Rose was like her mother, you know, and she's now seeing her daughter, I know it's her sister, but you know what I'm saying? She's seeing her sister ruin her life, making poor decisions. And I was like, man, I feel like a mom. But at the same time, you know, her sister had some good points as well. Doesn't mean I agree with them, but it is her life. It is her body. And I'm just like, you know, you don't have to do that thing. It just, the conversation did not go well. There was a lot of yelling and and her sister did not appreciate everything that she had gone through. She could have died trying to get her back, and she just brushed that off as, well, that's a thing. And I'm like, but here we are.
Sorry, we're having Chick-fil-A.
Oh yeah, we're having Chick-fil-A. Oh, but we do have a baked good. We have Chick-fil-A baked cookies and Chick-fil-A baked brownies.
Their cookies are pretty banging.
Yes, cookies and brownies. I was like, I did pick up a baked goods.
I told her I have like I don't even know what the brand is, but like a cheesecake in the fridge. Because I randomly decided I wanted cheesecake. And so James picked one up at Walmart, and I was like, we do have that if you end up wanting it.
I have a sweet tea to drink.
I got a milkshake. It's delicious.
What do you have, Mary?
I am doing a store-bought donut.
Woo!
And a chamomile tea.
I actually thought that I was going to be good and bake something today. But see, like, so we've been sick since last Saturday night. The family has, and so we've been locked up in here. And the house has been pretty horrendous. This is the best it's looked since you guys were here last. And so I got up and I was like, I'm going to clean the kitchen. I cleaned the kitchen. And then I was like, wow, that really took it out of me. I'm going to sit down. So, I didn't bake anything. Couple more weeks, baby, and hopefully I'm going to be back. But we'll see.
Yeah, I didn't bake anything either. I don't know. I haven't been in the mood to bake. Plus, Chuck bought like enough. He found at the store a giant thing of banana pudding. It's enough for like a 6-month supply. And I was like, I'm not baking. Yeah, it was like this huge tray of banana pudding. And I was like, we are never going to eat all that.
But you're going to have fun trying.
Are we ready to dive back in?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm sorry.
Okay. Last week we ended with them being on that lake, and then there was the Kraken, and Kior was attempting to distract the priestesses with his like storm magic, using it against them. And the wards were like fell, which allowed the Kraken to leave, but like he didn't. So then when we start back in chapter 61, since Rose can feel the Kraken's thoughts, she's thinking that maybe her magic works in reverse and she can like send thoughts to the Kraken instead of just receiving thoughts. And so she's like encouraging it to like have its own free willy moment. She's like, be free, leave the lake. And they end up needing to row pretty close to it since it's not understanding her, which I actually thought was fairly humorous the first time. And I reread because I'm like, it just reminded me of like, you know, when you see people like trying to talk to someone who speaks like a foreign language, so they just like talk louder. And I'm like, I don't know how getting closer is going to make it understand you more. So They end up getting a lot closer to it, but it's still like not working. And so Rose is like, you know what? I'm gonna get in the water. Like that's the answer.
I mean, trial and error, you know.
I did really like Kior has like this moment in that section where she's like trying to give him like a kiss goodbye just in case, you know, it don't work out, and he like refuses to kiss her because he's just like, you either think you can do this or you don't, and if you don't, then we're gonna do something else. Like we're taking a different path.
Right.
I like that he like called her on it and wasn't just like whatever you want.
I also like that it's the first time that you see him as not this like jacked, super strong dude. Like
He literally couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Well, he did, but not to the
But it took him out, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you see it in some of the other trials, like her getting to like have her hero moment, but in this one it was a little bit more like everyone looking to her to solve it, which was nice. So in the water, the Kraken does seem to like understand the general gist of what Rose is trying to do. But in the meantime, Rose is not a strong swimmer, as we recall, because she was very afraid of a water trial and having to be in the water, and she starts drowning. So Rose is drowning, but before everything goes dark, she sees this flash of
Rose is drowning. Sorry.
So Rose is drowning. She sees this flash of blue, and I think that was our hint as a reader that like Kior is saving her ass because he's got blue eyes. So. And then in chapter 62, when she wakes on the Eastern Isles, Kior is with her and tells her that everyone made it. Like she did it. She saved everybody. And he also lets her know that he like has made them postpone the ball because he knew she would want to meet Lenos's family. And throughout all of this, it is of course also revealed that he was the one that saved her, which if it wasn't super obvious, that was going to happen.
It would have been cool if it was the Kraken though.
It would have been cool.
The Kraken be like, thanks girl, I'm gonna help you now.
With this little tentacle.
Just happened to be a blue tentacle. I don't know.
So she's left alone to get ready for the ball, and Zara shows up. And I'm going to tell you, out of all the things that Zara has done,
I knew when I was reading that, do not trust her. I knew that was going to happen. Oh.
Well, I actually only knew, I'm going to say, apparently, I'm just out here giving the benefit of the doubt to everybody known to man. Because if it weren't for the fact that Catherine said she sucks till the end, and it's just like gets progressively worse, I was like, I would have 100% been like, well, maybe she's coming around.
Do you want to know? Do you want to know the only reason why I knew? And it has nothing to do with Zara at all. It was because she had to put her own sigils on her face, and Kior had been saying that he was going to put them on for her,
and he would have offered,
and he wasn't there, and he also would have offered. And I was like,
you know how you say you're a vibe reader and you always miss like the little subtle stuff? That's a huge little subtle one.
Mm-hmm.
You nabbed it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. I was
it's
over
very
here
out of character for me.
You know, I didn't even get it. I've just seen movies. It's a critical plot point when you make
She's
your
like, what's the villain?
dress up. You've seen it? It's like in all the movies where you tell the person, hey, it's a Halloween party. It's not a Halloween party. And that's exactly, I was like, ooh, I know what's happening here. Exactly. It's not a Halloween party.
She showed up as the Playboy bunny.
She was real cute.
She was hot, just like Rose.
She looked real good. Then she bought herself a computer.
Rose.
It was back when the little Apple laptops were super cute.
They had like they looked all futuristic and they had colors and stuff. Yeah.
I would get one of those.
I would get one of those right now. They need to like bring them back, but with all them like with them updated to the modern level, but like bring back the fun design.
Amen, sister.
Yes.
So Zara shows up. She's convincing her that the customs of the Eastern Isles is to paint these sigils on them like they do when they go to these trials and to the battles, and they do that for formal occasions. And of course, homegirl don't know. She'd never been nowhere. She's just like, okay. And then she convinces her to take Zara also convinces her to take one of her daggers as a peace offering. And like that I knew was suspicious. I was like, girl, don't take the dagger.
They're like, don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
I thought this was pretty. This was a little out of character for Zara though, because usually she just is full on aggressive,
right?
Versus
to
like
me,
sneaky.
I feel to me it was almost like I almost respected her more for just being like a bitch to your face than this weird mean girl deception thing. I didn't like that. I didn't.
It was
like
very different. And
And
it's the
chapter-
only time she's like that.
You're right. It really kind of went against her overall character, I felt like. Which, I mean, I guess is why I would have necessarily kind of bought into it. But also, I'm just like, don't do that. That's mean. Like, if you're going to be mean, just be
You're a
mean.
mean girl.
Just be mean right here. Don't, like, do that. Don't be like, hey, Bessie.
girl.
Also,
Yeah, it was definitely interesting to me because when I was like, this isn't something that usually she's just very open with her hatred. And throughout the rest of the book, she continues to be open with her hatred. I don't know if she was just like, you know what, let me just mix it up since I'm on like a foreign island.
Well, she has her comeuppance.
Like, and we'll get to it, but the way that she acted with that goddess, I was like, that's wild. That's wild work.
That disrespect.
I was reading it and I was just like, you're gonna die.
Oh, yeah. I was like, you are not worthy. If she would have been worthy, she would have gotten you. I knew. Like,
honestly, if I was Edda, I probably would have, like, struck her down.
smoked her.
Edda's over here like, here, you wait. We're gonna see who else comes.
Anybody else.
Anybody
Literally
else.
anybody else. She's like, oh, look, a squirrel. That's better. So, in chapter 63, of course that bitch lied. And no one's wearing freaking sigils at the ball. So, as soon as, Rose shows up looking very battle ready in a leather dress and, like, daggers all over her, sigils.
Isn't she wearing her furs? Or
I think so.
Yeah.
Like, she
She's,
went
like,
all out.
about to
She
go to
dove
war.
in. She
ready.
she committed to the bit. And Zara calls her out for it immediately and is like, oh, my goodness, the disrespect. How dare you come dressed for violence to this peaceful ball? And luckily, Leno's little sister is there and saves her right away. And it's just like, well, I think she looks like a badass.
Mm-hmm.
And that's followed up quickly by Benny also stepping forward. And he jumps in and makes like a big announcement about who she is and how she saved the Eastern Isles people and like basically how amazing she is and that, everyone should like respect her.
I love Benny.
I do.
I love him so much.
And I continue to love Benny, even in the second one, because Benny ends up doing some stuff that him as this, like, leader of a whole different area, he really doesn't have any responsibility to do what he's done for her thus far, I feel like, in the second book, even. Granted, I didn't finish it, but from where I'm at.
Granted, I just started it.
Finished
From where
it.
I'm at, I feel like
I finished it and there wasn't a moment I ddidn't love Benny. Like, he was great.
I love
throughout.
Benny.
like, he's a true friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's my favorite side character now.
Love him.
He does, he you get a couple
I don't know, I'm
more-
a big Ruben fan, too.
Well,
You get
he's in
you
the
get
picture.
you get a couple more Benny reveals, but none of them are. I don't blame him. Like there's none of them where you just can't make me mad at Benny ever.
I do like Ruben a lot. I like Ruben a lot.
I liked Ruben all the way through the end too, and I know, like I said, I think last week there were some people who online were saying that Ruben could have just been left out of the story or in this. I loved his addition into the second book all the way to the end. He was a fantastic side character. He was fantastic for Rose and the group as a whole. So
I love Ruben, and honestly, I like Kior more than I like Edward. But Ruben was almost a Team Jacob for me. I like Ruben, but I like Kior too much. That's the problem. But I do be liking some Ruben. He nice.
you're like, it could have been my why choose moment.
No, probably not on that. But I'm like, pick one. But like, I liked Ruben a lot. Just the fact that he just wait. I don't even think we find out that in this book. Never mind.
No, because Ruben doesn't show up till the second book.
Never mind. Forget
So,
that.
but he does show up. I don't think that's too big of a spoiler because you
Yeah.
don't know how, you don't know where, you don't know anything.
And you don't know the
Except he
context of
comes
what he
back.
does. Yeah.
He's not like at least
So we'll leave it at
58% in. He's not like a massive. plot
No, I
twist.
literally he shows up within like the first 5% of the book because I'm literally within the first.
He's
5%.
just like part of the gang.
The
Like,
minute he shows up, I know. I'm like, oh, he's getting added to the troop. Like he is
Yeah.
going on the adventure.
well, especially once like the things that happen with him, it's just like, what's he got to lose now?
Well, and we lost a lot of people in this book. So I'm glad to see someone kind of not really take the place of Lynn, but kind of fill that spot.
I like Ruben. He the coolest.
So
We do also discover here at the ball what Benny is, which is the Earl of the Eastern Isles, and basically is second to the throne.
He's
Oh,
like
okay.
Kior, but of the Eastern Isles, kind of.
Sort of, yes.
Because they used to be their own independent place.
Yes.
Now they're not. which I'm assuming is going to come into play at some point. Maybe not. I don't know.
I mean, like,
I felt like they took the time to mention it. That it's good. Like something's got to happen with it. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe that's a story for another time.
But in the third book.
Maybe in the third book.
There's a lot that's got to happen in the third book. A lot. But
Third book, part 1. The way this is going.
I'll tell you what though. I like the Eastern Isles. I feel like the way that I picture it in my head, I'm like, seems like a pretty cool place to hang out.
I like they're better than.
That's what I'm saying. I'd be like, we need to just hunker down right here.
Yeah. I'd be like, I'm moving in. I packed my bags.
Mm-hmm. Especially after Kior, what he did. I would have been like, all right, bye. I'm going to the Eastern Isles.
Peace out, Girl Scouts. I'm heading out to the Eastern Isles. It's not as icy, you know?
They're friendly.
They're friendly.
They're more open-minded.
Right. There's nice. It's more. It's got some aquatic features.
Any more Kraken?
Well, they brought
the
that.
Kraken didn't belong.
The Kraken wasn't supposed to be there. I'm like, come on. But yeah, I mean, shoot. If I was as heartbroken as she was after Kior did what he did.
No, yeah, her sister.
It makes more.
Her sister.
Like I said, I'm 58% in, and it's making more sense. Like as to what I still don't know. Like what the thing is that he can't tell her, but I know there's something he can't tell her. Which I feel like that's not even really a spoiler, because there's no way at the end of this book you're thinking like, well, that's it for Kior's storyline. You know, he coming back. Sorry, I'm done.
Mary's like, we'll get there.
Mary's like, can you shut up?
No. But it is clear, like, you know, when we talked about it, it is clear that the Islanders are wishing to have this independent rule of themselves like they did in the past. And like you said, I think that's probably going to come up. I just don't know in what way later and how that'll incorporate in. I do think, and again, we don't get any confirmation of that really exactly, but I think in this book we never really learn what any of the Eastern Isles people's plan for the gifting was. And it seems like they just wanted to be independent. Because for a while I thought maybe Benny wanted to rule. Like the whole plan was, we'll just oust the king and make Benny the ruler. But now I'm like,
I think they just wanted their own.
I just think they want to be left alone. Like they want to be able to rule themselves, not be a part of that mess. Like that can stay over there.
It makes me wonder if maybe like Corvain has he's collected a bunch of different places that used to be
something shady going on with him, and you still don't really get it in book 2. You get little Easter eggs again where you're like, shady shit is happening, but I don't know what that shady shit is.
Like, we know he's the worst, but why is he the worst?
But what's the end goal of the worstness?
What's the squeaky wheel with your horrible self?
Like, what's the plan? What's your $1 million? You know, like, what are we going for?
So many great movie references in this episode.
Rose has an emotional meeting with Linos' family where they say that Linos loved her, you know, like a sister, and therefore they will treat her the same, like that she's one of their own. And it's clear that they place absolutely no blame on Rose for what happened, which I think is probably super healing for her in a lot of ways, because that girl's just carrying loads of guilt around.
Very redemptive, yeah.
And Benny tells Kior as they leave, because Kior decides to take her back to rest, because she's still kind of recovering from her near-death drowning. But Benny tells him to take care of her, and that she may wear Rohelm rings, but she is one of them too. Which I was like, that's sweet. Like, that's her found family, is those folks.
Mm-hmm.
So I skipped chapter 64 because it's basically just Kior and Rose going back to the room and then just getting it on. Chapter 65. Rose is worried Benny and Jonas didn't buy their explanation of what happened.
You mean to tell me you didn't want to go into chapter 64? Into
grand detail. Yeah. I will say I think it's like the only time they actually... Is this the only time they've actually been able to finish what they started?
Pretty much, yeah.
To be honest, I don't even remember.
Because they kept getting interrupted by stuff. Like they would start and then something would happen. Trial would start.
Always something
That's your chapter.
So it is where you start to get the inclination that there's more than just like happening. That like maybe we're in love with each other. You know, like there was a more emotional connection there as well as the physical. So, but then in chapter 65, Rose is worried Benny and Jonas didn't buy her explanation of like what happened with her magic. Because they tried to blame it on this like residual magic that was happening from the previous trial on the frozen lake and the magic that was happening there with the ghosts and stuff. And so they're like, she must have absorbed some of that or any of these things, and they ain't buying the excuses. And so while Kior offers a lot of solutions, which include things like memory wiping and then just killing them, Rose insists that those are her friends and she trusts them and she's not going to let any of those things happen to them, and that Benny has done nothing but help her since she's met him, and that Jonas's father was one of the only friends of the family that kind of remained with them in some aspect and helped them.
Which, interesting choice considering.
Yeah. And I think there's going to be more because we don't get very much out of Arthur. And I'm like, there's been Easter eggs that he's a bad dude.
Like, explain. Like, I'm over here like, riddle me this.
Okay.
Like, he's a bad dude. Pretty obviously. Ish. But also, he's like the only family friend. Took in the sister. Took in the, well, we don't know that yet.
You can't, yeah.
I have
Took in the other, like, you know, it, like.
A sneaking suspicion he maybe knows more than like she does about the family, since they were family friends. Maybe he was let in on some stuff.
And it's like for selfish reasons, kind of.
Yeah, I feel like maybe he wants access to power or whatever, because Kior becomes worried about Jonas and Arthur, because he says specifically that as long as he's known him, he only does things that help himself.
Right.
And I'm like 100%. Whenever Kior has these little drops, like when he dropped about Hugh and the chick from Durain, spending time with her. Like, he doesn't say things just to say things. Those things play out. And I'm like, something's going to happen with Arthur.
But I mean, even
there's a reason he doesn't have an age.
You know, she doesn't really feel warm and fuzzy around him, like he's some sort of like, you know, pseudo paternal figure. You know, like I don't know. It's just weird. I'm interested to see what happens with him specifically.
Yes,
so I
want to know how he plays out.
Okay,
there's a lot riding on this third book.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I feel like I ended, because you did have plot progression. Don't get me wrong, but you had questions answered. You had a lot of questions or things where you're like, "What's that? What's that?" And those show up, but then you get like, "Oh, that's what that is." But then you're like, "But how does that play into the overall plot?" Those answers you don't get.
Wait. So the ravens, the crows, what are they? The crows?
Yeah.
The ravens. The ravens.
Ravens. Is that one of those situations where you get some answers but you don't understand how it plays in? Jeez Louise!
But I knew.
As soon as you said that, I was just like, it's gonna be the ravens.
And you get more stuff introduced. You get more stuff, you're like, oh, but then you're like, but those open up new doors and new questions. And
I do find it interesting.
Book 3 about to be wild, and I'm gonna tell you.
I do
Like,
find it interesting that she could
There's
talk.
gonna be a part 1, part 2.
I find it interesting she could talk to the Kraken, and then we have this, and then when you see like the Raven showing up, like, are you some sort of, do you got some like Dr. Doolittle magic? Like, what?
That does get a little bit answered in.
Like, what you got? What you got, girl? You gonna show up with a squirrel next, a little chipmunk? Like, what?
Dr. Doolittle.
Do you get a direwolf? Why can't she?
Actually, I'm really hoping
why can't she
that she
talk
gets
to
a
her?
direwolf.
If she can talk to a Kraken,
I'm really hoping she gets a direwolf.
She
I'm
can talk to
hoping
her.
that she's gonna bond.
She can talk to
That
her.
is a prediction of mine.
Oh, something's gonna
I don't know
happen.
when that's gonna happen, but that is my prediction.
Face. I can something's going on with that.
I know she's giving
I'm
things
gonna-
away, but
I'm
that
gonna
is
be
my
reading it
prediction.
tonight.
I'm only 5% in.
She'll be
I'll
like
read
the
it.
second person that'll actually ride a direwolf. Which technically she is because she's been on this direwolf, but you know.
Well, I hope she
own
gets her
direwolf.
own, like her own.
Well, they keep killing all the ones that aren't
I
bonded.
want her to get her own direwolf, not
Give her a
yours.
chance.
Anywho,
Go ahead.
back to this book though, specifically, chapter 65.
I'm over here like, is there not any sort of like respect for the direwolf?
How
Like
did we get off all this? We took a turn from chapter 64 to
65. We skipped 64.
We did, but
64.
we talked about all the,
I'm like, get
all
it
the
right.
things that happened in 64.
It's true.
So Rose ends up asking Kior about his scars, and we learn that his father was burning him as a child
Surprise, surprise.
to teach him, strength and enduring.
You mean
you
that Evil King was an abusive dad?
Yeah, right. I'm like, of course he was. Why wouldn't he be?
Like, I don't think he was having birthday parties with pony rides. I mean, come on now. Sorry. I'm just kidding. I'm just feeling spicy. Go ahead.
So on the ship returning them back to the Highhold, Benny mentions he's glad that she's better now because everyone was tired of the storms and Kior causing them while worried about her. And so we had kind of a hint of that earlier after Zell died, that Kior be making it rain. But Kior can have these physical magical manifestations of his emotions, and now you're kind of getting to see that as well.
It reminds me of in Harry Potter when he would get mad because his Aunt Petunia would cut his hair, and so he would just magically grow it back.
So I don't think it's a huge spoiler to say that when we open in book 2, it's raining all the damn time. I'm going to tell you, I did not put these dots together at first.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
I was like, God, it's got to quit raining.
They mentioned
I didn't get it until she said something. She was just because she
mentioned the
it.
tint of the clouds, how it had a greenish tint.
It was when she was,
I didn't put any of that together.
It was when she said something about how he was putting on a show or whatever.
Yes, that's when I grabbed it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, but before that I was just like, oh, it's raining. Mood.
I still but go ahead.
He's sad.
I get it, he's sad.
He's sad.
I get that he's sad. I get that. But also, I feel like
he's just up in his tower wearing a flannel shirt.
You could have just gone after her immediately or the day after and been like, "Hey, I have these feelings for you. I don't think you understand. Blah blah blah. I can't tell you, but you know what I mean. Give her something instead of
slipped her a letter."
Yeah, I was hoping. I was like, okay. I was, how they're walking away. I was like, turn around, just look at her.
Just do something.
That's all you gotta do. Just look at her.
Because I knew. I'm like, I know you're not. I know that there are bigger powers at play. I get that, but you don't. You love this person. You don't just let her.
He could have been walking away and done this behind his back and been like, "That's a sign." Hey,
I still don't feel like all through book 2 we're getting an adequate. There's still a lot of things being hidden.
Yeah, I knew.
Well, he's under a thingy.
Well, especially because his father basically said, well, if he lied, he's gonna die. He's on the death penalty. That little thing. I'm gonna kill him just because of treason. And I'm like, he was bound to not admit that he had lied as a boy. So I don't blame him for that. I just wish he would have given her a sign, a little wink or something.
A little
there's
we'll
more.
Talk about this later.
There's more to the reasoning behind, I think, getting rid of her family than we originally thought, or Rose originally thought, because there's a reason why the king is standing behind this, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not just to save face. There's something else.
I feel like there's a power play, especially if she's throwing around ice magic. I'm like, I think the king knows something about her lineage that she doesn't.
And they're
know.
also
I can't
they talk about the ice people. What are they called? The Isen.
We're saying Isen because they have ice powers. So
Isen. They talk about them like they're like savages and all these things.
They're not.
But I have a feeling
they're probably really powerful.
They're not. I just have it because I feel like you see this all the time, and it's a pretty common trope. I feel like in fantasies where you have the reigning kingdom, right? And that kingdom over there, they're the worst. And then you find out that kingdom is not the worst. And then you get all of this history that, we've been told is incorrect. And they've already said that they've taken anything about the Isen and stuff out of their history books. So we already know there's stuff that they're not being told about. So I have a feeling, I don't know if it's something kind of like how it was in Direbound, where there was just a stolen crown situation, or I don't know. Riftborn, that too.
The poison daughter.
From Blood and Ash, kind of.
It's a trope.
Sure. I mean, so I don't, and I don't mean that ugly. I'm here for it. I'm eating it up. But I'm just wondering.
There's got to be more to it.
I don't really remember where we started. Why I had that point. I was trying to circle back to the original thought. And
We
I
got
forgot
lost on the circle.
Yeah,
We took a right instead of a left.
I forgot.
She's like, I was on the roundabout, and then I took the first exit, and then
I don't know where I'm
you're
at.
like, welcome to Ohio.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate a
That's fine.
roundabout.
So back
And
on
no one
land.
knows how to use a roundabout.
Try
Because
doing
we're
it
in
backwards.
America.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. We're sorry.
So back on land, they get met with these priestesses, and they're kind of nervous at first that like, oh no, it's the next trial. But they end up, these priestesses are like, it's not the trial, it's something else, and it's that they're there to announce that there was a violation of rules in the last trial, and at first again they're like worried that it's, or at least Rose is worried that it's her because of the magic she used. But then they call out Prince Kior for, you know, using his magic against the priestesses and seem very offended by this, by the way. And so he's disqualified from the final trial.
But I wanted to be like, okay, he didn't technically use it on you. It was just near
It
you.
was just in the vicinity of you. Like, maybe you shouldn't have been there. Like, you could have moved.
Like that
But
was
I
that's
felt-
on you, girly. Like
I felt like that was a good plot point to get him out because he is so powerful. Because let's be real, if it was him and Rose going through that maze, he would have been done. Like, so to get him,
well, I didn't think
The-
that
the authors had to
Zara
write-
was gonna beat her either, but
they had to write him out of that because he automatically.
I still don't know
He's
how
too
Zara made
powerful.
it up there before her.
I know.
Well, I don't know why.
she probably
know-
scaled up versus really going through the maze. That's
I
one
don't know
thing
why
can think of.
Kior entered the gifting. Like, I don't know why he
Could it have
entered.
been to overthrow his father, maybe?
Maybe. I don't know. Why would his father have let him join then and do it? So, like, I don't know why he's there, but I also think at this point he's all about Rose. So I think if he would have been in it, he would have been like under her, just like pushing her up the mountain and been like, get it, girl. Yeah. So
Thanks, kind of.
in chapter 66, Sarah sort of picks a fight with Rose about Kior getting thrown out of the trials. But Grenda ends up jumping in and interfering and sort of gets them to not kill each other. And Rose worries that that's going to put a target on Grenda's back, which boy did it.
Boy, did it. She had a very excellent power, though. I mean, really, I'm just going to make y'all stay here and I'm going to go.
I think it says a lot about her morality that she chose not to use it the majority of the time.
I love Benny trying to figure it out, though.
I know.
He's like,
I
use
can't
your
find
dang
it.
power.
Not using it.
He's like, just do it.
And that's good merit on her because she truly was strong without using her power. So she could truly kick butt and be a badass.
And I think she felt like it wasn't, if she used it, it wasn't fair. Like it
Right.
wasn't.
And
I think she would have used it to save others, like she did here, but she wasn't going to use it to save herself.
It is unfortunate, though, because I think she also realized that if she used it, then, like you said, it would put a target on her back because
Well, I did.
literally
Zara immediately
she
take
gone.
care of that problem. It's another good point, though, for the authors to get rid of that character.
They're like, bye. So once they return to honestly, Grenda deserved the gifting as much as anybody.
Yeah.
Grenda's just out here minding
coulda
her
had
own
it.
business.
She
putting
coulda
in
had
the
it.
She's a single mom trying to just make
works
sure her
too
boys
hard,
are safe.
loves her kids and never stops.
Working 9
Gentle
to 5.
fans in the heart of a fighter. She's a survivor. Wow. Anybody watch Reba? A single mom. Sorry. Go ahead.
So once they return back to Highhold, Rose tells Jonas and Benny that she needs to go to the library. And Jonas starts he's asking a lot of questions, and he's being kind of super weird about it.
Honestly, Jonas needs to mind his own beeswax.
That's fair. And then in chapter 67, in the library, Rose speaks with Caroline, who definitely blames Rose for Lenos' death and is honestly pretty harsh with her about the whole situation, even going so far as to say that she wished she would have been the one that died. And I guess she's being honest, but also ouch.
If I was
fair-
Rose, I'd be like, listen, I just talked to Lenos' sister and her family, and they didn't blame me.
To be fair, Rose thought about it herself. Like, I understood it from both points of view. Like, if something were to happen and I survived and somebody else did not that you really loved and cared, we're not going to throw out any names because we're not going to do any of that messing up our juju. But, and I survived, I would have such survivor's guilt. To where if you would have told me, I wish you would have died, I would be like, you and me both. You and me both. I get that. I
I get
that.
it, but I still think it was mean. But then again, sometimes when you're grieving, you say mean things. That's
Yeah. I
Hurt
mean,
people hurt people.
pass. You get a pass.
hurt people. And Kaz kind of comes.
And she
comes
knows
back around.
Yeah. And you know what? Maybe it was cathartic for her to get that out. Say her truth, how she really felt. Knew that she wasn't going to be judged for that, even though it's kind of harsh. But I don't know. It was good that they had that conversation.
It was.
I get it. I see both sides.
Caroline does end up offering to help her though, despite, her feelings. And I mean, I think in a way she does kind of recognize that like her feelings, they're not necessarily wrong, but she knows like she's not to blame, but she still blames her. Like she's like, I don't want to blame you, but like also this fucking sucks.
Isn't this when she's like, you only come here when you need me, so what do you want? Kind of
Yes.
thing too. Didn't love
Yeah.
that either.
Yeah, I think again overall she was just hurting and upset and like lashing out at the person she felt like was semi-responsible for what
Poor
happened.
Rose is over here just like, I'll just see myself out. I'm sorry.
She's like, just put on the gloves, start hitting. Like,
Yeah.
but so she ends up helping her to try to look for books in order to try to figure out this magic that she has. And Caroline tells her that someone else also wanted those same books, and it's revealed that who is it?
Surprise, surprise.
Freaking Jonas. And then in chapter 68, Jonas has figured out that her ice and magic is ice and magic, basically. And he also knows what that means for her and what a danger that puts her in. And in some weird Jonas way that's also sort of super selfish and self-serving, he tries to get Rose to marry him.
He just really wants a wife.
He really wants a wife. And at this moment, he really wants to wife her up. He's just
Does this
desperate to be part of
to do with what he knows?
the family.
Is that some kind of? I mean,
Excuse me.
I don't know. I know he cares about her, but I also wonder, like,
I know he cares about her, but like,
because
how?
of what he knows about her that she doesn't know.
Like,
If that
I feel
plays
like
a
it's
part.
obvious that he cares about her, but like, to what end? Like, what? Why? Like, I mean,
I'm
obviously,
wondering how far the deception goes.
like, obviously, we
Me too.
know that he cares, but like, and I'm not trying to say she's not worth caring. That's caring for. That's not what I'm saying. But like, you just do. Like, you haven't seen her in a long time. Like, where's this loyalty coming from? It just seems that knowing that his dad is as self-serving as he is.
That's my thing is that I'm like, are you following in your father's footsteps? Are you doing what your father has asked of you and we're not being revealed that yet? Or are you on your own just sort of a doofus? Like, do you care but are just an idiot?
Because even later when he's all like what he does in the second book, that is also stupid. I'm like, I just feel like this was convenient. But like, maybe you are good. Maybe you are trying. Like, I'm like,
We
that
have
was
no
kinda-
answers in book 2 about Jonas. About
I was like, that
his-
was kind of nice.
his
I
end
guess,
goals.
but like, because like I was looking at it objectively, and I was like, I guess I guess this is technically better, kinda ish.
hope.
Like,
I hope it works out and he ends up being good.
I do want that. I do want that. I do want that. It's just weird.
If he's bad, I hope the sister kills him.
No, if
That girl's got to do
He's
something.
bad.
She's got to have some skin in the game. She's got to like pull her part.
he's bad, I want him to be like bad. Like I want to feel deceived. You know what I mean?
Like he starts calling her kitten bad.
Okay. I was just like, well, that would be bad. Like,
Instead of kitten, maybe Lil Kraken.
well,
welcome.
yeah. You know what I mean? Because that was a big one. And I'm like,
tell
if you're
my
gonna be
husband
bad,
that.
I want you to be like, I want you to be bad, like the big bad. He ain't gonna be the big bad, but maybe like an accomplice to the big bad. But I really think he's just gonna be a doofus.
So during this awful proposal that he has, he says that they can take her sister and William and basically run away and be safe. And Rose notes that it's weird that he's mentioned William because that's his father's ward. And while she understands like they're kind of close and she thinks of him like he thinks of him as a brother, she's like, I just think it's odd that you brought him up, which does become important in book 2.
You know,
Really in the first 5%.
Yeah,
do you
it's
wanna
real
know-
fast.
Do you want to know that I read that and I was with her? I was like, that is weird, and I just didn't think anything else of it.
I didn't either.
I was like, that is
I was
strange,
just
but
like,
I don't know.
So I did not draw the conclusion that we got, but I definitely was like, I had been clocking
You
since
clocked
way
it.
earlier that something was up with William.
Like,
I just didn't know
he's
what.
like a distant cousin.
I didn't even. I know. I just accepted it.
Maybe he's like a closet Ison from across the way. Like, you know, so I didn't even. I was like, well, he thinks of him like a brother, so I guess, like, well, she gets her sister, he gets his brother. Sounds good to me. Whatever. Happily ever after. Like, in his mind. That's where I was, but I was not correct.
And then Jonas ends up, he like claims that them getting married is the only option, but Rose insists that she can win the Retterheld, and by doing so it would protect her. And Jonas ends up blackmailing her, saying that like he can protect her as a husband, but like Prob's not as your friend.
And I actually have a quote. She says, "I shake my head as I release a bitter laugh. If you're trying to blackmail me into marrying you, I think that's a pretty sure sign you were never my friend in the first place." Mic drop.
Yeah.
So Rose
I do think he's trying. I think that what he's doing is he's just pulling out all of the stops. Like,
if I go in the lane of I think that he's a good guy, just stupid, then I think he literally was just panicking that like, this is going to get you killed. I can protect you. Let me protect you. Because he's done that through the whole thing. All the trials, just stay back. You'll stay safe. But now that I am finished with book 2, I am wondering what all Jonas knows.
it's giving very evil genius.
And I'm wondering if Jonas might not be good. But I don't know
Does
either
Jonas
way.
come up in the second book?
I mean, like, very briefly.
In the end?
No, not at the end at all. You get him a little bit wherever you are, somewhere along the way. You're going to get a snippet of it.
I was like,
he delivers his message in the first 5%.
No, but like it.
Does he?
But I don't feel like that's going to decide whether he's.
Then he goes bye-bye for a while.
And in the moment you see him again in book 2 later, in that moment,
They make it back.
No, I have very high hopes. I had like high hopes for him. I have high hopes for him being good and the situation being good. But what you learn at the very end, I'm like, maybe's not. I don't know. It depends on what way they go with it.
Okay.
Well, dang. Well,
She finds Benny
because
in
if
the
they
yard.
don't come home,
They are not home at the end of the book.
and when Jonas shows up, they're not home.
No, when Jonas shows up, you're getting some of Rose's magic. That's where she sees him.
What all can this girl do? Sorry, that was loud.
Just be careful what you say.
I'm over here like.
I don't want to
dang.
be spoiled.
Well, no, I don't mean that. But like, she's doing ice stuff. She's talking to animals, like which you know because she talked to the Kraken.
Yeah.
She shows up in some
Ice
sort of magic
animals. Well, she has her own.
to see. Because I don't think
her own
Jonas
little-
shows up where she is.
I can't remember if they. Yeah, it does in this book. Her powers when she gets them back.
She doesn't realize what all she has when she gets him back.
Yeah, she
Homegirl's
has
making
them back.
vines and stuff
In this book.
because her mama had the plant power.
A plant flower and
Which
like
honestly,
healing-ish
I would-
power of some sort.
Yeah, but she
What I
hasn't really
gather.
come into that one yet.
Oh yeah. So her sister.
I'm like, do you just do everything? Is this?
Well, I think that's part of the green power though, because she said it was like flow.
Yeah. But her
Nature.
sister, we never get
Alright.
anything from that. Now, I've not read enough in the second book to know anything.
You don't learn shit about the sister. Not a damn thing.
And honestly, that's fine with me. Sorry, I got cold. Are you cold?
Well, I wonder, like to me, I'm like, is something else going on with the sister? Like why? Like what is happening with the sister?
Why is she getting her powers? Well, I know because Rose is taking it all. Because homegirl's got like,
To be fair, Rose deserves it because she like fought and did
Wouldn't
crap.
that be hilarious if Etta was like, at the end when Etta was like, I'm going to give you a little more, girl. She's like, you can take your sisters because she's a hoe bag. I don't care.
She's not doing anything. Like,
because what was to be fair, Kay's over here just like I don't care. Like I don't need it.
I
Like
don't want it.
I didn't ask you to join the Redder Hell. Like, okay, fine.
well, I didn't ask you to.
I mean, just be
have
appreciative.
magic, I guess I don't know, but like I don't know. I don't know. It sounds like
Let me tell you, Kay be real comfy up in freaking nobility and whatnot, but she's like also gives her sister zero credit for any of that happening.
be like, honey, you realize that you would still be
In the slums, slumming
the
it, in the
slums.
slums, being fucking cold and hungry, taking
you're
care
like,
of a bunch of
you're
children.
a killer now. You have the skin of a killer, Rose. Like, she's very, like, she's up on her little high horse about it, and just like, but you're living a pretty cushy life right now.
She wants to make
She wants to
decisions.
have
Maybe the
She's
end goal,
18,
maybe
she's
the
been
end of this,
sheltered.
the whole thing is Kay is the bad guy.
Can you imagine? Honestly, I would love that. Like,
The big reveal.
like she turns around, and you just see Kay with like a white cat. Like, you can't see because I'm under a blanket.
I like that you two are both just like mummied up.
It's cold. I got cold all of a sudden.
So Rose pulls Benny up to her old burnt out room and she tells him everything. Like she trusts him implicitly.
Everything.
Because she's like, hey, here's all the stuff about my magic. And it could get me killed. But I'm going to tell you anyways. Also, let me tell you what Jonas did.
And Benny's like, I love how Benny doesn't really bat an eye at the magic, but is also like, didn't love that Jonas responded the way that he did.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh, you have this magic? Like, you know what, girl, it's fine. We still in the club. We all fan. Like, it's fine. But then like, Jonas just like, well, that was dumb, huh? He shouldn't have done that.
Shouldn't have done that.
That wasn't the move, you know?
So Benny does end up asking her though if she trusts Kior, which she says she does. And if she thinks
Kind of have to now. He's the one that witnessed her get it.
Yeah. And if she thinks he will make a good king. And she's like, I don't know, but I think he'll try.
And I mean, honestly, that's a fair answer.
Yeah. The next morning at breakfast, I loved this exchange between Rose, Benny, and Jonas when Jonas shows up to sit with them. Do you guys have your books?
Yes.
Does
I
someone
have
wanna read
mine.
it?
Are you talking about the yes? Hold on. Wait, this is pastries. I saw it earlier.
Pastries.
Hold on.
Oh my gosh, what sounds so good? A bear claw.
Ooh.
And pineapple.
You're so pregnant. You're like,
Okay.
you know what sounds good? Pineapple on a bear claw.
Where Benny? Where
Shut up, though. That actually
y'all on your pineapple? What? Benny says, I think you'll find there are plenty of other seats. Might even find one or two where you're welcome. And then Rose responds with, Benny, it's fine. If this is where he wants to sit, then I'm not going to stop him. I'd hate him to feel pressured to do something he really doesn't want to do.
Love a passive aggressive queen. Just get it, girl.
And then that's kind of when Jonas says, how much did you tell him? And Benny replies, everything. She told me every part. And guess what? I didn't try to blackmail her because of it. Because that's not what friends do.
I liked that, like, Jonas was, like, saying I wasn't blackmailing her, I was trying to help her, my proposal would keep her safe. And how, like, he's like, well, your proposal sucked.
Keep going, keep
Yeah.
going.
And it sounds to me like you were... it sounds to me like you were trying to get one over on the prince by, well, literally getting one over on Rose.
Yeah, and then Rose ends up like breaking him up. But yeah, I just loved it. They were just calling him out. Benny was like not having it. It's like, you idiot.
And I like that Rose even was like, let me tell you how all the times I saved you, you know, to Jonas. So if it wasn't for her
then
and
I
Benny, Jonas would have been out there on that lake.
But then I loved later on down that when he's like, I want to protect you, I want to... Then he goes, I know we've worked together this far, but now is it the Ofer? Is that what you call it? The final task where only one person can be gifted. That's the whole point of the competition. I'm not going to turn on you, Rose. I promise that, but I think we should make an arrangement now that this is where we stop actively helping each other. It's the right thing to do. Benny looks at me. Yep, do not accept the proposal.
Yeah, that was also, that was the next part I mentioned because I also was like, I was like, how are you going to sit there and be like, oh, I want to protect you. We should get married, blah, 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 blah. And then you're like, every man for himself.
You're like, but I'm not going to help you because I want the gifting. So,
Yeah, I'm like, Benny's great though. Benny's just like, yeah, what a dick. Don't marry that guy. So back in Kior's room, Rose finds a note from him encouraging her and saying that he will be waiting for her when she returns and when she is won because he just knows she's going to win. And then in chapter 69, since no one knows when the final trial will hit, they basically all just stop showering because they don't want to like get transported naked, which fair. And they start carrying weapons on them at all times, even when sleeping. This does make for a rather smelly and gross situation. But they do.
Honestly, I'm sorry, but when I shower, it makes me feel more energized. So I feel like if I didn't shower for days on it, granted, I don't live in this world, but I feel like if I didn't shower for days on end, I'd be like, I don't really feel like doing anything.
Yeah, but could you imagine? Could you imagine this final trial they end up in? If you just like, they just transport you out of the shower, you're just wet and naked. You're just like, hey.
Honestly, that's fair.
I mean,
That's fair,
maybe do like, you know, get a washcloth and try and do
At
a
least
little bit
splash
at a time.
just do
Have
like
your
the
shirt on, but have your arm under.
Splash some
Like,
water on
do the travel the travel shower, you know, where you
Yeah,
just have to
yeah,
like run in
like
the
the poor
bathroom and
man
clean up.
shower. You know, you like you sponge off, and you still.
They do end up getting transported to their final trial, and they end up on like this plateau of the Colton Mountains where they realize that the end goal here is going to be they have to reach the top of the mountains. And before anyone can even do anything, Zara stabs and kills Grenda just right off the bat. And then she immediately uses her powers against another of the final 8, Morial, who at that time was supposed to be aligned with Dell. But pretty immediately, Dell turns on Morial and joins with Zara instead. Meanwhile, the 3 amigos there, Jonas, Benny, and Rose, just run. They flee and hope that they'll just sort themselves out over there. But Zara quickly abandons Dell and Morial to fight against each other and chase after them. And Zara begins using her powers to pull an old wound on Jonas, which I think it was like to his ribs or something. I don't remember. And he is like doubled over and gets left behind. And Rose insists on going back to help him. And Dell also shows up to this fight as well. And of course, Benny is never going to abandon her, so he ends up going back to help her. And panicking during this fight to protect her friends, Rose ends up building a wall of ice that separates Zara and Dell from the rest of them. And Benny got stabbed in the fight pretty bad in his thigh. And Rose is refusing to leave him. And Jonas just, after they went back and saved his ass, Jonas is like, bye.
Bye.
Because one thing Jonas is going to do is look out for Jonas.
That's right.
The apple doesn't fall very far from.
So Jonas bails and leaves her, the jackass. And then Benny does convince her to also leave him because he's like, I'm not going to die. I'm just going to quit. And hopefully it's going to pull me safely from the trial. And he makes her promise to win the gifting for Lynn. So in chapter 70, inside the mountain, she has to go up this series of like maze-like stairs and shafts in the dark and try to find her way to the top. And it's like, it was like giving vertical corn maze because she kept saying that she'd like would have to circle back and would be on the wrong way and like go back down and find another way. And
They don't make them as scary as they used to.
well, I'm
feel
sure
like they
there's
used
some
to be-
liability with it.
I feel like they used to be so tall, and it really felt like you couldn't get out. Now, like you have the mazes that like it feels like you're in there for all of 5 seconds, and you figure it out. Where's the corn maze where you're stuck in there for over an hour and you can't figure it out? You start panicking, thinking you're gonna have to set up camp for the night.
Have you been in a haunted corn maze where they like send people with chainsaws after you in there?
No, I have not done that. No, I can't. That I
So
can't.
no, okay.
No, I just want to be worried if I can get out, not what's going to be in there with me. And
You're like, I would just like to go for a stroll and maybe get a little lost.
yeah, you know.
You're like, I don't want anybody to chase me.
No, I wouldn't. At least not without my inhaler.
That's when you just gotta be like, it's just corn, or it's just hay. You just barrel through it.
Be like, I would turn around and be like, "Sir, you can't chase me because I have asthma." And he'd
You're
be
like, I have an exemption.
yeah. I like
Chase
pull out
someone
my-
else. Go get them.
He'd be like, "Oh my gosh, excuse me, I'm so sorry." He just goes on.
So physically and mentally exhausted, she does eventually reach the top and she finds Dinah. Except Dinah is like, she's Dinah, but also sort of like possessed, body snatched, but willingly. I don't know how to describe it. Like there's a god
Willingly.
inside her, willingly inside her.
It's willing. Yeah, she's a vessel.
Vessel, that's a great word. Yes. Like, and so she's like offered her body up for Etta to use. So, and so Etta is inside Dinah. And as Rose bows to her, a voice comes out of nowhere and it's like, took you long enough. And of course, it's freaking Zara who's already there. I
And
was
it's like, "Don't worry about it, honey. I'm not taking her."
I know.
So then in chapter 71, Etta announces the trial is not yet complete, which angers Sarah. And Etta reminds her it is not a prize, but a gifting. And those are given, not, of her choosing. They're not just like, she doesn't just get to win it. And for their final challenge, they're going to have to give over their magic and powers to Etta, which they both end up doing. Zara less than thrilled, and Rose is just like, take them.
Especially because Zara's like, she doesn't even have any powers.
Right.
She's like, I don't know how you got that ice bead in there. It's like, little does she
Listen,
know.
she mean, but she ain't smart. Okay. Like,
Rose is over here like, yes, it was an ice speed.
Yes.
Totally. If it came down to like Zara turning her in for like she didn't have to worry about that because Zara was never going to connect those dots.
Zara's over here like, she just has beads. I don't know. She's got one for like each element.
She don't have any. Yeah, she don't have any powers. She's over here Captain Planet with the rings or something, but with beads.
So after they give up their powers, they're told to just kind of wait, and they don't know what happened. Like what they're supposed to be waiting on or what's happening next. But then Jonas appears eventually, and Etta doesn't speak to him at all. Instead, she turns to Zara and Rose and's like, all right, it's on. Let's go. Time's up. And immediately Zara realizes what's happening, that it's between her and Rose and that they have to kill Jonas, at least in her mind. So she starts to attack and try to kill Jonas. And Jonas begs Rose to kill him first so she will win the gifting. Which, it's like the first selfless thing that man has done. And then
But
Rose...
was it? Do you know what I mean? Like, maybe he had like, it's like, you got one job, and it's to keep that girl alive. You know what I mean? Kind of thing.
Maybe. Yeah, so Rose tells Etta she won't kill him, even for the gifting. And Etta tells her that Jonas has lied and manipulated her and may actually deserve death. Rose instead attacks Zara, killing her. And Jonas says that she still needs to kill him. But Rose turns to Etta calmly and says, I don't think that I do. And Etta does confirm her suspicions that she has won the gifting and it was not about killing him. And in chapter 72, Rose questions her winning. And Etta says Zara had no respect for life, and she is, of course, the goddess of life, and explains how the trial and gifting works. So if you guys are on like page 506 or wherever that falls for you, it's like the third the third paragraph right after chapter 72.
I'm on 502.
Wait, what are you asking me to find?
Where Etta explains how the gifting works and like what's the purpose of the trials, like how that all played out.
Before you find that,
Some redlings use the trials to grow. Do you want me to read that?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Some redlings use the trials to grow, and I hoped she would be one to do so. Pain, loss, community, they can bring out the best in so many. But in others, they only deepen the darkness. She turned away from love and friendship at every stage, every opportunity. She is one who has spent a life of being, not living. I will not gift the unworthy.
she will not gift the unworthy.
So we never still learn really how Etta selected at the very beginning who was worthy to go through the trials, but at least we do get a bit of an explanation of the fact that even those that she felt like maybe normally wouldn't be unworthy, it was an opportunity basically for them to become worthy. Yeah. To change their tune a bit, which Sarah did not.
No, she did not.
That was that answer that I told you guys.
Yes. And
Yeah.
I agree. You said you really liked it. You felt like it was a good
It answered, yeah.
answer. And I agreed. I read that and I was like, you know what? Very wise and very godlike.
Yeah.
Tracks for a goddess. So Rose asks for everything to be returned to her and her sister as they should have been. Magic, titles, home. Etta questions her not wanting any revenge or like the king getting dethroned. But Rose says she just wants what was lost to them. And Etta says she will give her a little more to make up for the time that she lost. And it's sort of described as she's getting her magic, that she feels like Etta is giving her extra magic. Do we feel like maybe that's the case? Or do we think it's something more? Do we think
It's
like
gotta be, because homegirls can do everything.
It's got to be something more. I mean, she said
Every
she
time
would
I
give
turn
her-
around, you can do this, I
She
guess.
said.
in any way, do you think it's what the something more could have been, what gets revealed, like what she asked Jonas to do and what gets revealed at the beginning of book 2? Is that the something more, or do you think it's just the magic?
I do
I
believe.
don't know. I feel like Jonas was probably going to tell her that all along.
Well, I think he was trying to tell her that all along. And
He did. He kept saying we need to have a conversation.
Yeah.
Boy's eating up with guilt.
But I do think that was part of her. She made Jonas tell him.
Bad guy with a conscience.
So then in chapter 73, Rose is transported back to Highhold, and Kior goes to her right away, knowing that she's won. And as she's she's told she has to get ready for the ball, and these maids are all coming in to help, and Kior has to leave so she can get ready. And Kior sort of has this weird look as the maids are coming in. And one of the maids begins asking her, as she's helping her get ready, all about the prince. A lot of questions about the prince. And as she does her hair, she says she's going to do it in a style that she thinks the prince is going to like, and ends up dropping a paper during all of this. And when Rose gets that paper and looks at it, she finds out it's one of Kior's drawings. And at first she's thinking this homegirl has a drawing of her and she's trying to like blackmail her in some way about her and the prince's relationship. But instead, she finds a drawing of Thea, Estelle's sister, that had been stripped and sent away for supposedly getting pregnant by the prince. And sure enough, the maid that's doing her damn hair, Thea. Bum, bum, bum.
I read this and I was like,
No.
like this was my first reason that I was kind of pissed at him. Because I was like, daggone it, you lied about this. It's the day that she's supposed to be happy. I was a little mad at Thea, too, because I'm like, homegirl, she just won this big old thing. Like, give her a day, man.
Well, my thing is,
I
I
was
was
dropping
like,
these bombs on her.
before we just, okay, it is such a thing as a scorned ex. I'm like, just give him the benefit of a doubt.
But he straight up
There's-
said that he didn't even think that he'd ever done anything with her, but he did because he drew a whole picture.
But you know that they have options to erase memories. Like, that was one of the things in handling her friends, was the option to erase memories.
I didn't think about that.
So I was just
Little
like,
Men in Black subplot.
let's wait, let's hear his side of it before, because you just have
So
to.
many movie references in this episode.
So I was not actually upset. It's in the past. Like, I'm sorry that happened to you, sis, but like, he don't love you anymore. And if you're so upset,
I don't know. That was my first reason why I was like already kind of like, all right, Kior, like you got some explaining to do. I ain't mad yet.
yeah, I took
But
that
you
as
got
a grain of salt.
But you
We're gonna
got
take
you
that
got
as a
something
grain
to
of salt.
talk about. You got something to talk about. Don't like it.
Exactly.
And I wish she would have addressed it like from
First.
jump instead of
Yeah.
just like harping on it. But whatever. And so I
Yes.
was like already kind of just like. And then like all the rest of the stuff happens, and I'm like, all right, well now I'm pissed. Like, anyway.
And a lot happened. A lot happens within the last.
A
few
lot happened.
chapters.
I'm like looking. I'm
Like,
like,
and
dang, this is
girl
all that's
cannot
left. And so much
catch a
happens.
freaking break.
Nope.
This is supposed to be her happy time, and people just keep dumping on her this entire time. So I mean, girl,
Like,
I'm
let
so
me
sorry
punish
for her.
you for winning this.
Like,
thing.
you won, so congratulations. But
Well, and you know how some books, when you get a trilogy, you get kind of like, and you do, because I think for this book's story arc, it was the trials through the gifting. So you do get the arc, and then in this next book, we're gonna get a different, adventure, or whatever. So
It's
I
the
think,
journey.
but some of them you kind of get like a semi wrap up, but there's more to the story. This one, I feel like you don't even get a wrap. You're just like, all right, sucks.
That's why I told you guys. I
It's
was
one
like,
thing after
when
another.
you finish this, you're gonna want to start the next one.
Yeah,
like, right
I'm
away.
like, it's very much like it's a cliffhanger, but it's like, but it's not like a cliffhanger clip. But you're also just like, what the hell?
This literally, I finished this and I was just so pissed off that I had to just start the second one because I'm like, surely
Surely not.
surely not, because
I
I'm
finished-
mad now.
I finished. I wasn't mad, but I did go ahead and start the next one so I could, because I knew.
And you get nothing in
would-
the first 5%. Let me tell
Well,
you.
you find out what Jonas wanted to tell.
Yeah,
him.
but I'm talking about with Kior. You don't.
Oh,
you don't,
yeah, with that.
Homeboy doesn't show up until good.
So
God.
I was
Like,
curious about that, but and that's
when Kior shows up, I was like, well, it's about time.
I'm at the part. I don't know. Can I say it? I don't know. We'll discuss where I am after, just to be
Okay.
on the safe side.
So in chapter 74, at the ball, Rose is overwhelmed. Everyone is congratulating her on being the gifted, but all she can think about is Kior lying about Thea, and worried that in some way he has played her or is messing with
You should have
her.
said something right away. Like,
And then Jonas is showing up and he's like, we need to have a talk and we need to discuss, I have something I have to tell you right away. We have to talk right now. And then Kiora approaches, but then so does her sister. And her sister also is like, I have stuff to tell you. I have so much to say. And she's like, I'm going to talk to my sister. And so she slips into a private room and she asks her sister about her news. And she announces that she is getting married and that she's also pregnant. And that it's Hugh's baby, but he won't marry her because he's already betrothed to the Duchess and Doraine, which Kior, like we talked about, Kior attempting to warn them about that. And that she is going to marry Arthur, which gross. I'm like, this is your problem solving skills? No, what? You are a child. Come on. So in
like,
chapters
isn't he like
old,
Yeah, it's not like
like it's not giving hot dad. It's not giving birthday girl.
I was going to say it's not Penelope Douglas. It's not.
So So in chapter 75, Rose is understandably appalled, and her sister end up getting in kind of this big fight because her sister's an idiot, and I don't have a lot to say about her sister.
I feel like I the whole time I'm reading it, I'm just like, yeah, like I'm like on Rose's side. I'm like 100%. This is dumb. Like I feel like
At the same time, what is she supposed to do? She wants to keep the baby. I know you would keep the baby. Don't even tell me you wouldn't. I know you would keep. Out of all of us who does not have a child, and I'm the one like she wants to keep the baby. What is she supposed to do?
Elizabeth's over here like, give me the tonic.
I get it.
Elizabeth would be like, did you say tonic?
That's right. I'm like, girl, where's your seeds you're supposed to be taking? I've made it 42 years not getting pregnant. What you doing? Come on.
Elizabeth over here, like, remember that talk we had? Do you remember?
It's one seed a day.
And you remember when you told me, like, don't worry about it? You remember? Sounds like I should have been worried about it.
Blame her for wanting. I don't blame Kay for wanting to keep the child. I do think she probably wants to keep the child for very immature reasons, but that's neither here nor there. I don't like the fact that she wants to have the baby is totally fine.
I don't blame her for wanting to keep it. I blame her for one, getting herself in that position in the first place.
Yes.
I blame her for two, choosing the weirdest route.
I don't think she chose though.
I think what she could have done, she could have gone to
groomed.
Rose first and been like, "This is my problem. How can we fix it?" And Rose would have been like, "All
Move
right,
to the Eastern Isles. Is
Like,
what
right.
We move into the Eastern
we'll
Isles.
figure it out." You know what I mean? Like
Lavender marriage with Benny. I don't know, like anything.
She has been staying at this house. She is being groomed. She's being groomed. This was all probably set up to begin with. Even Hugh was probably, well, he was just catting around. So, but I would not be surprised at all that if Arthur or the king or both had their hands in that. It's something to do with their family. But
and then Hugh, who was like so nice. Then like Hugh comes up again. He's like, you know.
oh, I know his excuse.
I wonder if he's going to show back up because he doesn't really show up in book 2. So I'm wondering if he's going to come back around in book 3 or if this is all we get of him.
It's probably going to be with Dorian.
When I saw him again, I was like, well,
because here I will say the fact that he's drunk, I wonder if Hugh actually did care about Kay because he does mention. So you get like they because Kior and Rose corner Hugh and they try to like convince him to marry Kay, but he's extremely drunk during this.
Yeah.
And when he refuses, he notes that Kior's father is the one who arranged the political engagement, reminding Kior that anything his father does cannot be undone. And I'm like, if maybe Hugh doesn't want this either. And maybe the drunkenness is his way. You know, like Kior would go get drunk every time he was dealing with something difficult for a hot minute, like when Zell died and stuff. So I'm wondering if Hugh is maybe he's not an asshole. Like,
he also says Corvain gifted me a year of freedom before the shackles of marriage. So it doesn't sound like it's something that he's wanting to go into.
Right. It's not like, I really like this other girl, but I just want to play around on the side. I wonder if he actually did really like Kay. Now, should he have put her in this situation? No. But, like, maybe he's not as bad.
But then when he pulls out the, look, you can't really be mad about the Cults of Varus thing. I was just taking a leaf out of your playbook. I was like, what? Because, like...
Yeah.
I mean...
You know, because then I was like, well, wait.
But what I do, well, remember, crap. Is it in this book or the next book? It was this book, right? When Kior talks about how he would come back from the battles and he would get drunk and he doesn't remember sleeping with people.
Yeah, because he...
Yes.
So I wonder if Hugh was doing that, like he was just sleeping with people to like get over his upsetty spaghetti-ness.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. We don't get a ton of insight into his motives, but he does in that argument. He yells at Kior saying that like he wouldn't know about any of this because he was too busy fighting a war with the Tyrellians, which Rose thinks is just him making a drunken mistake because they haven't been at war with them in decades. But I will say, clock it. It's going to show up in book 2.
Yeah, I was going to say, clocking that. There's stuff happening she doesn't know about.
Yes. So as Hugh leaves, Kior promises they're going to find a way to fix everything and kisses her, only for the king to walk in on them and interrupt them kissing. And he tells them that that's going to end, like right now. Like he's putting an end to it. And Rose tries to assure the king that like, hey, we can be together because I'm not the daughter of a queen killer and Kior lied and he was just a child. And so she starts begging Kior to just tell the king the truth. And Kior doesn't say a word. And the king goes on to say that if Kior lied as a child, that would be treasonous. And at best, he would be disowned and disinherited. And he kind of alludes to the fact that he might also be killed. And then asks Kior if he has anything to say. And Kior says nothing as he walks away from her. And that is the end of the book. So,
Y'all see why I was so pissed off?
I do.
I
So
was
we-
like, Kiora could have at least like done something, like turned around and like winked at her, you know,
Anything. At least look
Something.
sad. I don't know.
like just do a
Walk away, don't look back, not
Yeah.
a nothing, not a nothing. Be like, and, you know, honestly, forget the fact that you can't tell her this, that, and the other. Like, you knew that getting involved, technically, if what I'm hearing is correct, then he would have known that getting involved with her, period,
Would have been
Was-
frowned upon.
was not just frowned upon, but risky, right? So you couldn't risk turning around and telling her, like, we'll talk later.
Well, and to me, if he knew his father was going to disapprove of this whole situation, but he loved her so much and he wanted to protect her. I
what
don't know,
was
I
his
just-
wish for the red
I feel like he should have came out to her right away at any point and said and explained like this is going to be an issue with the dad.
Well, but I wonder if he thought he was going to win. I don't know what his
He was
wish
going to
was.
ask for her.
Kill for what? No, kill his father. He takes over, non-issue. I mean, you know what I mean? Because it wouldn't be an issue if he would have won, depending on what he asked for.
Can you imagine asking the goddess of life, hey, can you kill my dad?
Yeah, can you just,
Or
like,
just,
eliminate
you know.
him?
Can you, like, reach out, hold on, can you reach out to your bro
But I can't
and be
believe.
like,
Hey, martyrdom, can you just
Yeah.
take that one?
yeah, can you kill him?
But we got to talk about the slap that was heard around the world. The slap that Kay gave Rose. It's funny.
You love it when someone
You-
slaps
I'm
somebody.
You
like,
love a good
look
slap.
at her. So this whole thing.
Actually, she's usually like, not the physical violence. We could have
well,
used
actually,
words.
I'm not on her side. Don't get me wrong. I feel like honestly, it's just a knee jerk reaction. It's weak. It's truly. And you're a much better person, much better character if you can.
But I think it shows
rein
that
that
Kay's
in.
not. Like,
she's
Kay's
not.
a kid. Kay's a kid. She doesn't know what she, like, I mean,
She's probably again. Yeah. I just.
Yeah.
I'm like,
And again, she's making very knee-jerk, emotional responses to things instead of like
Very
take a step
impulsive.
back. Maybe think about
she.
some stuff.
The things.
Maybe
that
use
she-
both sides of your brain for like 3 seconds.
Well, the things, this is why I'm thinking that this entire time she's been with them, she's being groomed. She is being, I'm hoping anyway, I'm hoping this is not just a her thing, but
Something ain't
some
right
of the
with her,
things
right?
that she was saying, she said, I thought you would be proud of me for dealing with my own problems. So she already thinks that Rose does not think that she can make any decisions or handle anything. And then she says, you just never listen. You always have to barrel in and save me, controlling everything. You think I'm incapable of doing anything for myself. Again, Rose denies it. And then she goes, yes, it is. You lie to me. You hide things from me. And she's like, I do that to protect you. She's like, I'm an adult. And again, Rose is just like,
Act
only
like
just. And then she goes, I'm never going to grow up if you don't give me a chance to. Am I?
well, you kind of
She's-
made that decision on your own, girl. You're growing up
She's-
now, you got to.
She's not wrong in all of the things that she says, and she goes, how come all the other girls in the slums work in the dirtiest of jobs and I'm just playing kindergarten teacher, Rose? I'll tell you how come. It's because you were paying people off, paying Ty Cerula, making sure I never end up working in one of those places. Anyway,
Listen, I
she
understand.
A
basically
good time for
accused-
a thank you.
she accused Rose of coddling her, and then Rose was like, I was not coddling you, you idiot. I was protecting you, stopping you from ending up selling yourself to the highest bidder. So that is what you would have ended up doing all the same, and that's when she was slapped. But she knew when she said those words. She knew when she said those words. She was like, I should have said that.
she was right. Like,
In a
yeah, like we say things all the time that, like, you know, might not should have said, you know, whatever, but she's still not wrong. The
think
moment that this girl had like a chance to like be on her own, this is what she does. Like,
Well, and I think in a lot of ways, Kay is very representative of like that teenage rebellious. Like she thinks she's an adult and she thinks she's growing up and she wants to make her own choices. My big thing is she does very much recognize the sacrifices that her sister has made, and yet she refuses to acknowledge any of those in any sort of positive light whatsoever. Like, she's clearly taking advantage of them. She's happy to go work with children and not sell herself on the streets, but she also will not then, give her sister any credit or appreciation for that.
Right,
and calls it coddling.
And
I'm
also, like,
you can't have it both ways,
yeah, you were
girlfriend.
so against her being in the Retterheld. She didn't want Rose in the Retterheld, but she got to benefit from, like, being at court. Like,
She's clearly happy at court, and yet she still doesn't give her sister any sort of validation for the fact that none of that would have happened without her.
So again,
you're totally right. Like, she's making valid points, but she's also contradicting her own.
Here's the
she
thing.
Is making...
Now, you have kids that are grown and they're doing very well. Let's see. Kay is the equivalent to an only child who has been coddled. She's now 18. She wants to make decisions for herself. Are they smart decisions? No, but they're her decisions. She wants to do her things. She has the right to do that. She has the right to say, now is the time, I'm breaking away from you, I'm gonna do my thing. And I know that hurts as a parent. I know that hurts. She's got to learn, though. She has got to learn. And honestly, the best thing for Rose to do is be like, you know what? I'm gonna pick up the pieces when they fall. I will be there. And that's all she can say.
I do think Rose's personality is very much I'm going to take responsibility for this, and I'm going to fix this, and I'm going to, do those things. I'm going to be responsible for you. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to protect you. I'm going to do all of these things. And she's been like that since the very beginning. I think it was like chapter 1. We called it.
She's a parent, basically.
She's very much about her sister. Everything is for her sister. Mm-hmm. And I think she's made her entire life that, and she's struggling to maybe let that go a little bit. But there is, I will say, one of the hardest things I had to learn to do was, as my children got older, was to go, you're an adult. Like, if you would like my advice, I will freely give it. If you need my help, I am here. But if this is your choice, then that is your choice. Because you're an adult now, and you are free to make those decisions if you want to make those decisions. I'll never forget my brother, complained because I let Faith go to, a concert in Texas. And I was like, and he called my mother and was like, how could she let her go? And I was like, she's 21. She's a whole ass adult. I had a child by then.
But I am on the side of Rose, obviously, but I'll also I'm like, dang, Kay is trying to grow up. Unfortunately, she's going to be one of those that make poor decisions. And I've been there. I think that's why I can relate to her. I'm like, I've been there. Not to that extent.
Yeah, I mean,
I took my little seeds.
When she has two kind of rants. She has a rant here, and then she has a rant again in the beginning of book 2. And in some ways, I don't think she's wrong in her rants, and I do understand where she's coming from. But
Yeah.
I think it's very different.
I feel like you can make those points without being hateful to the person that is the reason why you're there.
Right.
Not really. I mean,
it's
you
very
can do that
clear.
To your parents. You can really undervalue and underappreciate your parents.
Doesn't make it
You
right.
can.
It doesn't make it right. It's still part of the growing learning.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, dang.
And maybe she's viewing her sister as this very controlling, overbearing parent. And I don't know about you guys if you ever went through a period, but I know I went through a period where I was very much wanted to be out from that. And even if it meant doing real dumb stuff, but anything to
I was never this abrasive. I didn't have to be. I was much smarter than this. But I understand her feelings. I did make really dumb. I cannot express how dumb of the decisions. It could have been very bad if the things that I did, if they did not go well, I probably could have been dead. Not gonna lie, I'd be dead right now. But I get it. She is in that age of we're gonna be stupid. I'm hoping she grows out of it. That's all we can do. I'm hoping she will learn from her mistakes. She'll start to appreciate Rose from gatherings from you guys that she does not.
Well, I don't know. We don't see her anymore.
But yeah, I really hope that they can. I know that I have started the next book. That is not the case. So,
What is your guys' star rating for this book?
5.
5.
Yeah, definitely.
I have enjoyed it. I know I did not devour it. Like, I just didn't have the time. If I would have had the time, I would have been like done. But I really, I like the trials. Do y'all have a favorite trial?
I liked the Kraken trial.
I think I liked where they crossed the ice and they had the ice and soldiers because of the mental element and stuff. I like that one a lot. And it's where it's revealed she has those ice powers. There's just a lot that happened in it.
I liked the Kraken trial just because I was 100% not expecting a Kraken to appear in this book. And when I saw one, I was like, that's fun. Like, I wasn't expecting a whole...
So, I mean, I did also really like the first trial. We got a real sense of everybody in her group and how they handled things and how she was going to approach these trials. And also, the authors did a really good job of making that a visual scene.
Mm-hmm.
And so that one was also pretty good. But I wouldn't have survived any of them. So
I would be heavily relying on my friends.
I would have been over there with like Jonas. Jonas would have been like, you stay over there and be safe. I'd be like, all right.
I would be like, I need opinions from everyone in order for me to make a decision. I need your opinion, your opinion, your opinion.
I've been like,
Gathering
Those
data.
giants would have showed up and I would have been like running, like just trying to get away.
You'd have Catherine back here with her inhaler.
But there's only so much I can do, fam.
What out of the powers that we read about, because I thought this was really interesting too. No shadow daddies, but I
actually like that.
I like that. Was there a favorite power that you guys liked?
The cures thunderstorms because those were pretty badass, and that there was variants of it. It could be like really strong and very detailed with the lightning, to like his emotional side of it with the storms, to just the tiniest, that static. That was really cool. I liked Grenda's because the fact she chose not to use it.
Yeah.
Because it was so powerful, and yet she chose not to use it.
I like Benny's for strategic purposes. I wish I had Benny's in real life. Like, do you know how much easier that would make my job? I was like, dang, if I could just look at someone and be like, I see your weakness. I know what's going on. Let me fix it. I would love to have that for like strategy purposes.
I liked Locks until he went all cuckoo for Cocoa Pups because of it.
Poor Locke. So next week we will be back, and for the entire month of September we will be doing the countdown to the equinox chapter 2. And so each episode for the month of September is going to be focusing on the ball and like about the ball, and us discussing some of the really fun things that we have planned, some of the things that go into planning a ball, and also having some really amazing special guests on. And so next week we will be back with the one, the only, the Stephen Walker. So we will see everybody next week. Bye.